I am getting ready to go away on vacation for a little break. So I'm very excited about that. I just want to double check and make sure that we're live in all the right places. I need 1 second to check the old Facebook, because it's good. Oh, yep, I can see that we are live, so that's great. When you get here, if you're with me, please leave me a comment. It's kind of late and almost darker 30 for me to be doing a live video, but I have been looking forward to a vacation all summer. We haven't been anywhere. We haven't been camping. We haven't gone anywhere. We have been focused on family and taking care of a sick family member, and it has been good, but I am ready for a break. A few days off all in a row. Hey, Vicky. Vicky knows. Anyway, I'm very excited. We leave in the morning. We just have to make our way down to the cruise terminal in Boston, and we're taking a local cruise for 7 days. So that being said, earlier this week, I posted a picture of these cards, and you guys loved them. There were about 33,000 views, and everybody was asking how to make them. So for my vacation special, I have an extra special treat for you. So let's talk about it. So here, I'll go this way. So September 20th through the 28th, that's today, starts today. Orders of 50, I'll be sending you the Gathering Moments card kit in the mail. So if you place an order through me and it's $50 or more, you'll get the card kit as you see it in today's video. If you place a $75 order, I will send you a gift package, and I cut some designer paper down to 12 by 6 already. And I'll send you 5 beautiful cards, and that's for all orders, merchandise orders over 75. So if you spend 75 in my store before tax and shipping, you get the extra goodies. And if you spend 100, you get all 3 things. You get the card kit, the extra gift package, and you'll get a free embellishment to match. So very excited about all of that. 5 cards from my stash is always fun too. So let's take a look at these projects. I did them for a workshop this week, and when I posted them, you definitely wanted to know because you were asking. So here's what your little packet would look like, and it comes with 4 projects and envelopes, and I would mail that to you absolutely free with an order in my store. It also would come with an PDF, and I would send you the PDF the day that I mail your package. So when I get home on the 28th. I would start processing those orders Monday and work until I finish, We are featuring the Gathering Moments bundle, which is absolutely beautiful. And I am starting tonight's workshop completely from scratch. Because I did this at a workshop, I cleaned as I went, and I put everything away. And we will need the cleaner, which is all the way over there. So I'll need a second to go get it. But we're going to use some stamps in here. And I want to show you, I've already done this workshop with 3 different groups. But here's what the cards look like. It made a lot of crinkle. But let's just take one card at a time. So when you get your package in the mail, you'll open it up, and this is the card that's on top. All the envelopes are at the bottom of the package, and I do something that I call stack stuffing, and that is so because when I did it in person with someone this week, one of the people in the class actually lost one of the bows because she took everything out of the package and then couldn't find the little bitty bows. There's some little tiny pieces in here. These also come with a strip of the new Cajun Craze dots, so you have everything you need to make the 4 projects. Hi, Linda. Hi, Donna. So good to see everybody joining in. When you get here, just let me know that you're here. But see, for this first card, I actually tied your bow already, and it's here in your packet in between the layers. So if you open it and take everything out, you might lose pieces. So just take what you need for the first card first. Okay. So, and I'm working from scratch here, which is pretty cool. Let's see. That's not the first card, but that's the first card. Ha. And like I said, I'm working right from the PDF at the same time. So I'm going to dig in here real quick, and I might as well just stick these together because I'm looking at it. Some glasses here. So I'm going to start by stamping this Thankful for You on the die cut leaf. And this is two-tone cardstock. And let me just zoom in a little bit so you can get a better look. Two-tone cardstock is pretty cool. If I were to emboss this, it has a white core in the center. It's darker on one side and lighter on the other. So let me show you what I mean. Do you see the difference? So it's very subtle, but the dark side is the back here, and I want to stamp on the light side to get started making this card. And I'm going to bring in my stamp set and load it up on blocks. If you are having a great Saturday night, let me know what you were doing to make it great. We're going to go to dinner, and then I still have to pack. We leave in the morning. I have a whole 12 hours, right? Kinda. What time is it? Maybe not 12. Whatever. It's fine. We're going to be good. So I need these two stamps for this card, the Thankful for You and then the leaf pattern, the large leaf. And I'm going to start with Early Espresso ink, although I used also Cajun Craze and Versamark. And the complete supply list of everything I used for this workshop is up in the title of this video. So if you need to go back, there's prices and links so that you can make decisions on what you might need when you assemble your kit. And of course, I can only mail kits here in the US, but if you live in another country, you might be able to order from your demonstrator to get some of these awesome products. That was crooked. I had to replace it. Can I say? All right, so let's get in, and we're going to go to Early Espresso, and we're going to stamp the Thankful for You, and I am so thankful for you. And I'm going to just go there. Now, what's really cool is no matter which way I stamp it here, I can turn it so that it's straight. So if I changed it or I did something weird, I could just make the words so that they're straight. This is a leaf and it's falling from a tree. Okay, and then I'm gonna set this aside and let it dry for a minute. Now, one thing I love about the new two-tone paper is stamping on it. Sometimes when you stamp on actual cardstock, it's a little bit rough and it doesn't always absorb the ink as well. But in this case, the two-tone, I'm really getting used to it and loving stamping on it because it's so very smooth. So it absorbs the ink and gets you nice clean images, which I like. All right, so I attached these 3 layers and I'm going to put it on to the basic beige. And again, this is a piece of two-tone that I put in the middle of the layers, but the actual card base, to make sure that it's nice and hefty, and all the other layers are cardstock. So you can do that in your own stamping at home and layer in the two-tone to lighten up your card, but it's also just, it's going to be great. Like there's no, you can't even tell once it's sitting down, except for this nice clean image that I got to stamp because I'm stamping on something so silky smooth. Okay, so I'm almost there with the first card. That's pretty fast, huh? Hey Pam, so good to see you. I'm glad you happened to see me. I was at my mom's all day helping. Well, I wasn't at her house all day, but I had to get there. I had prepared a bunch of meals for her while I was gone, and she looked pretty good today, so I'm very excited about that, and I'll be able to hopefully relax a bit, knowing that she's doing pretty good. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for joining me. She says, I love your cards. I appreciate you. And I appreciate that you're here with me. So I've got a Versamark pad for this only because I don't want to stamp it tone on tone and get it muddy. I want just a watermark. And that's going to tone down the brightness of the basic beige, which, by the way, I love in some cases, but I just wanted a different look for this. So I inked it up backwards, and I'm going to drop the die cut onto my stamped image. So if you were to place your order to get a free package, I would mail these out when I get back, obviously, and prepare extras if I don't have enough. And you would get the card pieces already die cut for you. So everything that I'm playing with, and it seems like it's already done, it would be already done when you get the Gathering Moments card kit in the mail. And then, of course, all the extras. So I'm going to just turn that off because it's distracting. Whoop. That went flying. Gotta love my new table. I used to work on a plastic table, and since I got the wooden one, it's really nice to just work with. Okay, so no matter how I stamped this, I can make my leaves straight when I place my sentiment on there. So I stamped right on the leaf, and then I stamped Versamark, which gave it another kind of shade. Here, let me show you close up. So you can see that I stamped it much better there. Okay, so at this point, a lot of times, because we want to glue dot a pre-tied bow on, I would use a glue dot, but this ribbon is so thin, and it's nice. It has a little bite to it when you're tying it, and I actually enjoyed tying all the bows in your packets. And I'm just going to add a tiny dot of liquid glue. I mean, tiny. That's even more than I want. You really don't need a lot. You don't want to make like a big bubble of it either. And then I'm going to place this on top of that glue and give it a hot minute before I touch it again. So by the time I touch this again, that little glue dot will have absorbed into the ribbon without having the extra that you sometimes get when you put a glue dot on a ribbon. You know what I mean? Okay. So that was easy. That's the first card. Pretty cool, huh? All right, what did I do with the packet? Oh, here we go. So again, I don't want to wheel all of the pieces out of my packet. I just want to go to the next card base, which is this white one. It is so pretty. And so the original one that I did, I just used one color of ink. And then I decided to change it over and use two colors. So we're going to do the Cajun Craze first. And this is, so you don't want to stamp on your card base. You want to stamp on the white layer. And to kind of hold it as a place setting, I'm going to put this here so that I know where I need to stamp. And then let's load up the next block. So there's two sentiments that would fit with this. So when you're making yours, you could put whatever sentiment works for you. Your friendship means the world to me, or expressing heartfelt gratitude. And I am always in need of thank you cards. So I'm going to do heartfelt gratitude. You know what? That's all I've got. I'm so lucky that I can do what I love for work. I mean, I work a lot, but I really love you guys, and I love being able to stamp with you and share and all of that. It's pretty cool. I'll be doing this 20 years in March. St. Patrick's Day is my stamping anniversary. Okay, so I just opened up the Cajun Craze ink pad. I love that they have the new stickers that you can put inside the little gully here in the pad, because then you don't mess up and accidentally stamp the wrong color. Oh, you know what else they do? And I don't have to have it in English for it to be helpful, but you know, like when you have a bunch of ink pads on the table, I really love when I put the matching color on the top, because this will stay in place when I open the ink pad, and then I've got two chances of making sure that I don't stamp the wrong color, you know, mix the early espresso and the Cajun Craze. It's not a good idea. So here we go. I'm going to just stamp this. Expressing heartfelt gratitude. Now I had my place setter there, so I can move that out of the way. I just wanted to make sure that I knew where everything was going to go. And then we're going to grab this little acorn. So cute. So these stamps are distinctive stamps. So they are purposefully not solid. They have all of the art and sketched looking artwork done for you. so that you can stamp and just get a perfect image on the first try like that, which I love. Hey Julie, I'm so excited to see you. Oh, look, you're not, if you don't have ink all over you, you're not doing it right. I'm already dunking my fingers in the ink pad. Well, it's all right as long as I don't get it on my project. If you do this at home, I would say just the best thing to get off classic ink is just a little bit of hand sanitizer. Of course, I just wiped it on my pants. It's fine. Good thing I know the guy that does the laundry. Anyway, we've got liquid glue here, and I would use my tape runner. It's right over there, but I saw my friends this week putting liquid glue on their project, and I had to look away because they were slathering it on. And that's okay, but sometimes when you do that, and you do it on basic white especially, you put it in the drawer, and then a week later you can see the beautiful swatch lines of, so it will actually, the glue will actually adhere itself to the fibers of the paper and pull down. So when I put a card front on with liquid glue, I really only do like 4 or 6 dots for a whole card front, because this is the stuff we use to stick boxes together, and you really don't need that much. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't like liquid glue, you should try the dot method. It works fabulous. Okay, so then I had this little thing, and I probably should have did it first. I did it first when I made the original, but it looks, I'm going to call it like Frankenstein ears. It's just going to stick out here, and I'm going to attach that in between the layers for a little added bit of interest. I'm not going quite in the middle. It's a little higher than the middle of that 3 1/4 inch panel. And then you decide which way you like this. And again, like, look at this, 4 little dots, and it won't fall apart, I promise. So this is the stuff we use to stick boxes together, and when it dries, it is dried permanent. But it does give you a couple seconds to move it around. You have a little bit of give. So if you're the type of person that you go to stick something down and then you're all stuck, well, this is a great glue because you have a hot minute to let it set up. Okay, we're coming to the end of card 2, and again, I tied the bow for these packets, and here we go. So like, you get the full PDF for recreating if you want to. I have other demonstrators that purchase my classes all the time so that they can make their samples and have an easy button to stamp with their friends, and they might work a full-time job. This is my full-time job, so I get to serve my friends too. So the offer is open to everyone. And again, I'm going to put a tiny little drop of liquid glue, and you'll be like, how tiny, Selene? Well, that tiny. It's not even like raised. And then I will put my twine on there, and I already tied it for you, so you can just have fun putting them together. And so here's the one I did before, and it's adhered. I just needed to wait for the glue to dry. So I'll do the same with this one. Does anybody have any questions? Hey, Linda, good to see you. Hi, Lynette. Oh my gosh, I love you. Hi, Holly. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you're liking the tips tonight. I have probably made cards every which way you're not supposed to. So I can tell you what not to do for sure. So that's how I get so good at giving you guys all the little tips and tricks. Okay, so many thanks. Oh, and for this, I need to go and grab my cleaner, which is still in the bag from the workshop I did on Thursday. Just talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right there. Oh. Everybody else make that noise when they lean over? So this is the scrub and mist, and the mist comes in a much bigger bottle now, like a giant bottle. I kept the old bottle and I refill the little one when I'm doing workshops because they're easier to travel with. When you open up the scrub, here, I'm not seeing it, so you're not seeing it. Hang on. See the little raindrops? that's the side that I spray. And then the little sunshine is the side that I dry off on. So if you spray it like twice or 3 times, you can legit clean a whole stamp set, everything that I've touched so far, and wash and dry. Now, I've seen it before in friends' houses where they really want to make sure that there's enough spray on there, and they spray it and spray it and spray it. If you get suds, you've got too much on there. So a little bit will do you. I did like 2 or 3 sprays, and here I am cleaning everything that we've used so far in one shot, which is pretty cool. This material, the Stamp and Mist, also conditions your stamps. So when I'm done with the workshop, I will wipe my blocks down with another cleaner to make sure that there's no mist left on the block. Because if this has a conditioner in it that's meant to condition the stamps, and there's conditioner on the block, and then I stick another stamp to it, well, that could make my stamps less sticky. So I make sure that I get all the cleaner off when I'm done. Okay, let's roll again. So we've got all of these pieces for our mini thanks card, and like I said, there's a PDF, and so all of these will go on and you get your step-by-steps, but you could just follow along with the video again. And guess what? Ta-da! You have a pre-tied double bow in there that I already did for you, so that's kind of cool. This is great for quick cards because, you know, the cutting is done. So however long this workshop takes is probably how long it'll take you to put them together at home if you grab a packet. If you're just joining us, I will show you that this is my Sail Away special. Here, let me move that paper to see if I can make it easier to read. Oh, there. Orders of $50 or more while I am away on a much needed break will get the kit in the mail to make the 4 cards. And if you spend $75, I will also send you a gift package with 6 sheets of 12 by 6 paper ready for Christmas. That's all packaged up and pretty, so you can just kind of start creating with it. And 5 handmade cards. And then if you place more than a $100 order, you'll get an embellishment of some sort to match so that you can have some fun and have some extra supplies. So that's just my Sail Away bundle and my special while I'm gone. I appreciate you guys so much. Okay, so I put all of that together with liquid glue. You see how little I used? And in the class, everybody's like, well, why did I get an extra piece of paper? And that is to put inside the card because the card is dark. So we'll put that there for a minute, and then we'll start stamping. So we need our stamp set again. And we already used this one with the Versamark. And then we want many thanks. And we're going to use the acorn again. So can I just tell you, this stamp looks like, the first time I stamped it, I was like, is that right? But it just like the acorn, yes, it is right. It's intended to be just like that. If you look at the image on the stamp set, it's meant to look kind of windswept. So I when I first did it, I was like, hey, is this all right? And then now I love it. And I think that the Cajun Craze dots on this card make it even better. Like, fabulous. Here, let me turn that off so you can see better. So I can see better. All right, so we got early espresso. I'm double checking myself because, you know. Oh, could I have put that on the block any more crooked? Ta-da. Okay, we'll straighten it out. A little bit more ink on my hands, yay. Perfect for a Saturday night, inky hands. Okay, so many thanks at the bottom. And while I have this open, I'll stamp my, I went off the paper. I'll just flip it over. Love that. That you can fix it that quick. And then here's my little acorn. And then we need the windswept leaf, but I'm going to change colors for that. How many times have you had 2 open ink pads on the table and then stamped the wrong color or put like this color in the So I try to close one up before I start in with the next color. But here we go. I'm inking up and dun dun dun. See if we can hit the paper. Oh, pretty. And what's cool about this card is you can't really mess up. They're leaves, so if they're not exactly in the same spot that I put them on the first card, it's not going to be an issue. This designer paper is absolutely my favorite for fall. Good point, Pam. I used it for club. I've already used this paper in 3 different classes because it is just gorgeous. And I think that the champagne little accents make it even better. For those of you in club, I see some of you. You're getting half a pack of this paper and half a pack of gold paper and a whole bunch of things in club. So, of course, that Fun Folds class was off the chart. We're almost up to 80 club members. Isn't that crazy? 80. Again, I'm so grateful. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I love what I do because it's for you guys. So here we go. I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue here. And it's nothing, right? Like these little dots. So if you see someone on a video and they are laying it on thick and they have it on their hands, that's probably why. Because it doesn't need that much. Although I will say, when it comes to using dimensionals, there's a direct correlation on how much you love somebody by how many dimensionals that you use. And I am obviously loving on the person that's going to get this thank you card. I have to just show you. We haven't cut into these yet, but the Cajun craze and gold dots that come with this are fabulous. Here's a little trick for you. So on these transfer sheets, sometimes they go a little rogue. I've got my take your pick tool here, and this is the putty side, right? So I'm going to bring it all to the front and then kind of tap it down to get it flat. It's not really in focus, is it? There we go. Tap it down to get it flat. So if you're out of putty, you can advance your tool here, and then it will come out. But then the minute it starts to come out, you have to back it off or it'll keep coming out like a bad tube of toothpaste. So you just keep it nice and flat. And then when you go to pick up whatever you want to pick up, if you press down on it with your finger and then go to pick it up, it slides off the transfer sheet much easier, and then you can place it wherever you want it on your project. So there's a little one. I'll press down on a medium one and then slip it right off the transfer. It definitely makes it easier to use this take your pick. Now there's no adhesive on this. This putty is just meant for picking up your item. So I'm going to push down again and push. And there we go. Nice and easy. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. And these dots are just divine. Like, hello. Okay, I know I tied that double bow and I put it somewhere. I was so excited to show you. And what do you know? I already lost the bow. Tisk, tisk. Oh, there it is. All right. So before I do that, I think I want to put something on the inside of this. Just another leaf. Doesn't have to say anything, but it does add a little bit of happy to the middle of the card, don't you think? And then let's put the insert in. Really brave. Sometimes I don't put the insert in because a lot of times I mess up what I want to say on the first side. And then I have to cut another piece of paper. Whereas if I wait until I write out the insert, I can stick it in after I've written out my heartfelt messages. If you get more than love, Selene, because that's my MO. I'll take it 2 hours to make you a card, and then all I've got left is love, Selene. Oh, I lost my scissors. What's the thing? All right. We'll get another pair. It's fine. So I'm going to give this a little trim because I did pre-tie these, and when I tied them for you, they come off the bow maker, and sometimes they have like a little funny spot. So you can tie them, and you can, because this is a double, you can make them all different lengths. you can actually grab the knot and adjust it with your fingernails if it's not like pretty. But this is gorgeous. There we go. So it's ready. And then I'll add that little tiny dot of glue, drop this on, and not touch it until it dries. And then I might trim it again, because if you look, it's kind of interfering with my dot right there. But for now, it's good. I'll set it aside and let it dry. Anybody got any questions for me? Okay. I'll keep watching. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. This is one reason I love to do live classes, because I do my best when you're asking me questions. And it's more helpful for you if you do have a question. Okay, so I want to show you this next technique, and I will say it caused a little anxiety at my in-person class, but it is so loosey-goosey and fun. I actually wanted to prove a point and went outside the lines on purpose with this one. This is the original card, and people were kind of nervous about it. Let's see. Early espresso. Ha. My marker is missing. Of course, because I did a workshop. That's how it goes. Alrighty. Bummer. Well, what other colors are in here? Let's grab. Do I have a Cajun Craze marker? Good God. It's all fun and games until you can't find your marker. Well, we got Cajun Craze. We have Old Olive. Old Olive is the winner. Okay. So we're going to play pretend. Because I don't know what happened to my marker. That's crazy. But so I used to have a business development manager, Kate Spackman, and she worked for Stampin' Up! For, I don't know, maybe a year and a half. I used to get cards from her in the mail all the time, and she made me a card that was similar to this, that legit just had you like draw a rectangle around the card base, which is crazy, right? So I want to show you how she did it, and it's so fun to me. And we can use Old Olive because it's one of the one of the things that's in the designer paper, one of the colors. It'll be fine. And there's the 4 envelopes, by the way, that I just tossed to the side. So you get the envelopes in this one. All right, so here's my card base, and I'm noticing that there's like a kind of a weird cut on this one, so I'm going to flip it over so that this is my front, and now it looks perfect. And then I'm going to start to add some designer paper, and these are just 3/8 inch strips, or maybe half. Are they half? Let me see. I'm wrong. They're 3 by 1/2 inch. Let's see. I like that. And you just arrange them any which way. Because we're using the Old Olive marker, I'm going to put the olive on the outside so that the color stays balanced. So I have the olive in 2 places. And you can make these straight or crooked. So there's no right or wrong on this. All right, let me come out a little bit so you can see the card that's over here that I made. And then we'll talk about the ribbon after. So I'll start by lining up my designer paper and sort of just getting it on the card. So you can use any side. These pieces are already cut for you if you get the kit. And we'll stick them down one at a time. Okay? So no stress yet. Oh my gosh, you should have saw their faces. They're like, what? You want me to draw? I'm like, no. I want you to get loose and not worry and be happy and go for it. Because that's really what this is. It's an easy technique. But I will tell you that when I made the second card that I wasn't quite in the middle, it shifted over. So I had like kind of an empty space over here. So rather than mess around with it, I just moved where my sentiment was, which I think is kind of cool. It's very loosey-goosey, this whole thing. You don't have to have it perfect. Actually, It's perfect that it doesn't have to be perfect. How's that? And I got my old olive coming in, so now that will be the color that pops around the outline. And if you want to practice, you can, but I think people freak themselves out practicing. They slowed their hand down. Oops. I meant to put the other color down. Whatever, it's fine. It's, you know, that's what's cool about this. And it's a great way to see all the different papers that's in a designer series paper. It gives you a nice sampling of the whole thing. So, here we go. All you're going to do is you're going to take a Stampin' Write marker or a blend, whatever, and you're not going to think about it, and you're just going to go like this twice. And that's it. Is that not the easiest thing ever? Oh gosh, it's so good to see you, Robin. Thank you for participating in BOGO this week. So it is really cool with the old olive too. So it's very forgiving if you don't have the same marker that I used. And obviously I didn't have the same marker that I used this time, which is funny. Let's get stamping. How about, so we did gratitude last time. I guess I can do, you know what? I'm going to change it. So we did the gratitude one. And because you guys are all here, I will make the other one that says, your friendship means the world to me, because it does. And I'm leaving tomorrow, so this is my cruise special. I won't be around to answer questions during the week, but when I get home, I will be sending out these packets and any extras that you earn with your orders this week. So here we go. Hopefully I stamped this straight because I am not even close to being over it. When I stamp an image, I like my nose to be right here so that I can see that I'm straight with the block, but I'm kind of side saddle here right this second. Okay, this is fun. I'm going to put a little adhesive here and stick this down. And then I'm going to close up the ink pad because you know what's going to happen if I don't. See? Happened earlier. Ink happens. All right. And then for this, you really should use a good sturdy tape runner and put a couple strips of Seal or Seal Plus across. And what did I do with my ribbon? Oh, there it is. So I got my twine. And I gave you a little bit extra, at least in this packet there seems to be a ton. And I'm going to use my fingernail, or you could use a bone folder if you want to kind of straighten it out a little. And you're just going to take both pieces at the same time, and you're going to make the letter S or N. You come down, make a loop, stick it to the adhesive, go up, make a loop, come back down, and stop. Oh look, it looks like a little whale tail. Then I'm going to take the sentiment and put the sentiment on dimensionals. So you have a minute because it takes me a second with the number of dimensionals that I use. Yeah, totally different time for me to be presenting tonight. But like I said, I know that I can't do it on Tuesday because I'm going to be away. And so I pushed it forward so that you guys could do the special while I'm gone. Oh, that's not it. Here, that's it. Yeah, let me move that. So anyway, oh, there's the front. And I got this big long ribbon hanging off still, but that's okay. And even though I put 8 dimensionals on the back of this, I'm just going to peel the corners. It's not about the stickiness, it's about the height. I don't want there to be any like sagginess in the middle, so I definitely always use plenty of dimensionals. Okay, and then you can give this ribbon a little haircut. The old olive works great with this too because it actually mirrors the twine because the twine is old olive and espresso. And again, if you want the supplies of what I used or the item numbers, or you want to know what they cost, they're in the item. They're in the description of the video. So I already did that up front for you. Push down on the one that I want to pick up, and then use my take your pick tool to slide it off, and then I can put these wherever I want. So there's a small, there's a medium, and there's the baby. All right, well, it's official. I'm officially on vacation. I prefer Seal Plus. That's a good question. Sharon Vickery Ferguson is asking me, do you prefer Seal or Seal Plus? I like Seal Plus, and here's why. Hang on. When you put Seal Plus on a piece of cardstock, let me find said cardstock, and it may not show up as easy on the white as it would on a dark piece, but it's the first one I grabbed. So if you look, let's see if I can show you. It's not really showing up great. Oh, there it is. Kinda. All right, see how that there's like a little tiny break in the action? So they're like 1/8 inch little bits of glue. And you don't need as much because it's so super sticky. That I just do the 4 corners with this, and it's absolutely fine. There is a bit of a trick though. When you hold this, you don't want to drive down the street like it's a buggy. You want to tilt it a little bit so that when you release, it's at the top, and you don't have to like do any flick or side action. You just need to kind of get it down straight. Let me see if I can show you this way better. I'm just going to show you an unflattering version of myself so you can see, hopefully. All right, we'll come back here. So you want to come off absolutely like 90 degrees when you lift, and then it doesn't get sticky on you. Like I have friends that like flick, or they push, or they press down, and when you press down on this stuff, I joke with the people in class, this stuff's like a girl. If you press down or you fight it too much, it'll bite you. So the trick is to come off at a 90-degree angle as much as possible, and not like a car coming down the street. Does that make sense? So that's a great question. Thank you, Robin. All right. So I am officially on vacation. How about that? So I guess I better go pack. I haven't put a thing in a suitcase yet, and I leave in the morning. But I did get to Mom's, and I left her some meals. I cooked chicken that I got from my friend with vegetables, and I made her some soup, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, I like the Plus a lot, and I can do that again in another video, and especially it would be better with dark paper because you could really see the breaks better, but that's why I prefer Plus over regular Seal. So let's go over the ordering special one last time. You get the 4-card kit like I showed from the very beginning. If you didn't catch us at the beginning, just run back and you can watch the replay almost immediately. If you get to 75 before tax and shipping, I will send you a gift package, which is 6 sheets of 6x12 designer series paper. And they're right now I'm looking at some Christmas colors, so you might get like red and green and that kind of thing, gold, sparkly, plus 5 handmade cards. And if you happen to spend 100, then I will also send some sort of embellishment that I think goes with. So, and it's just everybody gets a different one, but actually I can show you one. How's that? I was looking at this combination. So this is 6 sheets of cherry cobbler, gold, and soft succulent, and ribbon to match if you get to the 100. So like I will just, when I get home, I get to mail out the packets, and I get to I keep moving the wrong way. I get to mail you a box of love, and that's my favorite thing to do. So anyway, thank you so much, Pam. Thank you, Jolene. Thank you, Robin. Yes, I am so excited. Like, imagine I'm going to go away and not answer my email for a week. I mean, what is that even? That never happens. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will have some scheduled posts going out, but they'll be minimal. And of course, an email reminder for the ordering special tonight. So thanks for joining me live. It's way more fun when you're here. And I am so very grateful to be here and to be able to work with you. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.